people. Welcome to another episode of the Top 4 podcast. Once again, unfortunately, you can just see it is the three of us. No Nath today. But that's all right. We're going to crack on and give you your usual weekly analysis, opinions from three of the greatest football minds in the UK. I was about to say from Cardiff, and then I remember we're not all based in Cardiff. Rob's recording from London, so we literally, from across the UK, bringing that football knowledge. How you doing, boys? You all good?
Yeah, all good. Can I just say shout out to Lee Trundle, listener of the podcast. Liked our reel earlier. I'm sure he's listening. So I put on the Swans topic, especially for Lee Trundle. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Rob, did you see that?
Didn't see that, no.
Oh, I forgot to message you because basically, we did if you listen to the last podcast, you'd have heard that we did our top 3 players. And if you haven't, you can go and re-listen. And Jax was Lee Trundle, Soccer AM legend, baller, and he liked our Instagram post today. I think, yeah, it was today. But yeah, good. There's no guarantee he's listening, but it's nice to maybe think he is.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's just I like to think so. You like the real, so you might be like, oh, those boys know what they're talking about. I'm gonna check them out. You know what I mean? So when I was in the office though. It popped up on my phone. Lee Trundle like a reel. I was like, oh shit, quality. Let's go. Send it to a few others of my friends who are Swans fans, and they were like, yeah, that's class. I was like, yeah, I know it's class.
Yeah. Hopefully we can, when we get the subscribers up, we can get him on.
Oh yeah, let's go. Like Mumbles Ranger legend, Swans legend. I'm sure you will. Anyway,
I know. Just before we go on, I know you're gonna be doing the Welsh football thing at some point. But what league do Mumbles play in? Do you know?
I think it's like the South Wales Ardan League.
Okay, so they're not in the same league as Rogerstone.
I should know, but I don't.
Okay, I'll tell you.
To be honest, I don't know.
I've just exposed our Welsh football expert before we even got into it. I'll move on. I was just thinking, you know me. I'm like, can we tie in like a visit to Tiny Rebel and then go watch Rogerstone versus Mumbles?
Oh mate,
time? I'll just that's what I was getting at. But anyway, you'll be able to tell us next week when you do us an update.
I will know next week. That's for sure. Yeah.
But a lot of football going on in the Premier League and across Europe. But a huge game coming up this week. Like huge game on Sunday. Proper. Been a few like super Sundays, not been that super on paper, like in terms of big games. But this is probably the biggest game so far this year, I would think. In terms of, I know. Liverpool to play Chelsea, but I mean that's not really a big thing. Arsenal, Man United this Sunday.
The
battle for fourth place, maybe, just maybe. And last week we did a Newcastle Liverpool combined 11. What a game that was, by the way. And today we're going to do an Arsenal Man United combined 11. I'm hesitating now because I don't want to really start off on this because it's a difficult one.
I don't mind giving you mine and just let me know what you would change.
So just to be clear though, with the way things are now, and it pains me to say this, you're starting off with the Arsenal team and seeing who fits into that from United. That's the basis, isn't it?
I think it's quite even actually. Like my combined 11 is quite even. I think maybe surprisingly. I'm trying to do without any bias, but you'll probably be able to point out if I've actually been biased in any position whatsoever. Obviously, the Newcastle-Liverpool combined 11. Does Darwin now go in ahead of Isaac? Who knows? Maybe. Super Darwin Núñez. I hate that guy. Absolutely despise that guy, but those 2 goals, decent.
I'm sure I said that last week. I'm sure I said Darwin gets in.
I don't know if you did say that. Oh no, we are backing ourselves. The first week I said he should be our fantasy pick. Backtracked on it, but I backtracked on a lot of stuff, so that doesn't matter. I'll backtrack on the backtrack. But
all season so far, Yoki's been giving me stick for having Darwin in the draft, and now he's come off trumps, and now he's in a good season. So, Yoki's a bit anti-Darwin, but That was mad. That those 2 goals.
That was mad. I just thought it would be the start of the Liverpool's demise, and we were already laughing at Nath, our Liverpool fan, but that very, very quickly came back to bite me in the ass. Anyway, United Arsenal. I'll just run through mine fairly quickly, with a little bit of reasoning, and you just let me know if you disagree. Starting in goal. Haven't seen enough of Onana in goal yet for me personally. It's only 3 games in the Premier League. So it is an Arsenal keeper. I would very much like to put David Raya in it, but I haven't seen an Arsenal shirt yet. So I'm going with Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's confident enough, great stopper. He's in goal. Right back, Ben White. Centre half, Saliba. All Arsenal so far. But then we go to the other side of the pitch. Right next to him, I am putting Varane. Slotting him next to Saliba, and I got Luke Shaw as my left back. Do we want to discuss that now, or shall I keep going?
No, you do yours. You do yours, and then we'll...
You go, and
I go. Okay.
Take notes. Yeah.
Just ahead of him, tough one. This is one of the hardest ones, but I have gone with Casemiro, just because of the history, the experience. I've gone with Casemiro. Love him. Now, just in front of them two, kind of like 2 number 10s, but both attacking, Ødegaard and Bruno next to each other in that slot. So I'm kind of going with a 4-3-3 here. Yeah. Casemiro, Ødegaard, Bruno. Decent. Front 3.
2 United players in the midfield.
2 United players in the midfield. I have.
The same midfield has been getting run over this season. Okay.
Yeah, we have been over that, to be fair, but I'm talking on paper, yeah. So, front 3. Start on the left. I've gone with Martinelli, just because I just think he's better than both the left. He is better than Sancho at the moment. I hate to admit it, but he is better than Sancho. Sancho arguably isn't getting enough minutes in my eyes. I've probably said that 3 times since we've rebooted the podcast, but Martinelli on the left. I've got Saka on the right. And I've actually put Rashford down the middle, and I've slated him for being down the middle, but I have slotted him in that striker position over Jesus and Trossard. So that's my
Rashford down the middle.
Stinks. That stinks. That absolutely stinks.
That's why I started with goalkeeper. Yeah.
Oh, I can
so you picked Rashford in the combined 11, but the position that he isn't even in his best just for United.
Yes, I have. But on paper, I think with Saka and Martinelli, the other side of him, and with Bruno and Ødegaard trying to slot him in, get him through, I think he would blossom compared to this current United team that he's in. I just think you bang. Like, I just had to. I was thinking about Jesus. I was even thinking about putting Trossard up there because last year I had him in draft. I'm a big Leandro Trossard fan. But that's what I had to go with. So Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Varane, Shaw, Casemiro, Ødegaard, Bruno, Saka, Martinelli, Rashford. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Rashford players and 6 Arsenal players.
You mean, did you say 5 Rashford players?
Yeah. 5 Rashford players. I'd put Rashford in there 5 times if I could.
I think that sums up how obsessed you are with him. But Rob, do you want to go first, or do you want to let me go? And
I'd love to go next, mate. If I have your permission.
Yeah.
I disagree with a lot of what you said, Jack. I'll be honest with you. You've done well to make your list, as I also have, sex offender free. Difficult task, if I'm honest. Anyway, I have Ramsdale. Process of elimination. You said you haven't seen enough of Onana. I have seen enough of Onana. He seems bad. He also has come across a bit of a dickhead as well. The whole Maguire situation. I've gone with Wan-Bissaka right back. I think he's one of the most improved players in the league at the minute. I mean, you say most improved. He started very well and sort of dipped off, and as United fans have a recent history of, turned on him quite quickly, and he clawed himself quite back, didn't he? I've got Saliba in centre back. My other centre back, I've stuck Harry Maguire in. Pause. What are you laughing at? Greatest England player of my lifetime.
Oh.
And I love him. And I think he's due a comeback story. And I think a lot of the United players don't come across as like good people. And I think he does come across as a good person. So that's a reason for
We're
it.
trying to win the league, mate. We're not trying to win
We're not.
fucking...
I actually worry that whoever is listening to this have just written the rest of your team off after seeing Harry Maguire. You probably should have listened until last.
Anyone listening to this just switched off after that Maguire pick.
United fans are going to write off the rest of the list because that's the last of the United players. Left back, sticking is Zinchenko. Odegaard, Rice. I'm going to put Jorginho in the midfield, to be honest. I quite like him.
Who? Who do you say?
We're going Saka, Martinelli, and I'm going to stick Trossard up front.
Wait. Who's in the midfield?
Odegaard, Rice, and Jorginho, because I couldn't think of the other Arsenal midfielders.
So you just put in Jorginho in there.
You had the audacity to say to Jack that his team stank, and you've just put in Jorginho.
I didn't say his team stank. I said Rashford down the middle stank, and I didn't agree with some of his choices. So let's get accurate.
Okay, and then who's up front? Sorry,
Trossard.
no, the front three.
Oh, Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli.
Okay.
Okay. This year then. Friendly this year.
Well, I think we need to just little dissect it to
Team Man United. And I'm not taking the piss with Maguire. I wholeheartedly believe he's the best centre back at Manchester United, and I'll fucking fight any man, woman, or child who says otherwise, as I often do in comment sections on TikTok. Right. That man.
Wow. So I don't know where to start. So let's start with what was your thought process behind having Zinchenko over Shaw? I'm not saying that's wrong, by the way.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, that is a tough one. I kind of had the other two United defenders, and I thought I can't have three United defenders because
you stopped Maguire in.
Yeah. So I went for Zinchenko. Also, I don't know about you. I care quite a lot about what's going on in Ukraine, so I'll put him in.
Oh, okay.
What do you feel differently?
And then the Trossard pick. Does Trossard start for Arsenal?
Say again?
Does he?
Well, he started this weekend.
He's gone. They got a bit of rotation going on with him there. I love Trossard. I love him. It was a staple fantasy pick for me. Really enjoyed him when he was at Brighton. I was working there when I was working at Arsenal when they signed him. There was a bit of a buzz, a bit of excitement when he came in. Got some decent goals last season. I think he's great. I still think he's one of the most underrated players in the league, to be honest. I don't, because no one ever talks about him that much. No one seems to get excited by him as they were when he was an exciting Brighton player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like I just said, Trossard. I love Trossard. I think I totally agree with you. I love him, but he ain't going in over Rashford for me. He ain't
in the middle.
Nah, not happening. James, I really want to hear yours, mate. I really want to hear yours.
Yeah. So I've gone last. So I've given out the most stick, and now I've got to deliver. So in goal, same as everyone else, Ramsdale, but that could easily be replaced with by the end of the season. I'm actually going with like the players on form. I don't know what. Well, I say that on form. There's one pick which is a little bit dicey. I'm going to get a bit stick for, but apart from that, I've gone for on form. Right back, it is. Oh my god, who am I going right back? Let's go. Who's right back again?
Diego Dalot, perhaps.
No, who's the right back for Arsenal? Oh, Ben White. Ben White. Right.
Yeah, I had
Ben White. Right, Ben White, right back. And then Saliba, of course, centre back. Now, this is where my choices start probably going to get. I would go for Gabriel, centre back. I know he's not played as much this year, but I think based off how good he was last season, his goal contributions, he's better than any Man United centre back, without doubt. And then left back, it could be Cucurella in a couple of days, but I will go Zinchenko. So that's 5 Arsenal players.
You changed that.
Oh,
changed that in the last few minutes.
no, definitely Zinchenko. I love Zinchenko. I think he's baller. I think he brings passion. Absolutely Zinchenko. In midfield, I would definitely go Declan Rice, Arsenal. Odegaard as well in midfield. Sorry, I'm looking over at Rob, and I think Rob's going, is he not going to pick a United player at all? And then this is difficult, but I think if we're basing it off the balance of the team, I would probably go Bruno as my first United player in the midfield there. I think if you got Rice, Odegaard, Bruno, I think that's a very, very good midfield. On the right side, Saka. On the left side, in his position, his best position, Marcus Rashford. And then down the middle, Big Eddie Nketiah.
I really worry that if we had any credibility, it's gone. Like it is in it's out the window.
Mad about that because what's that? Because if you're gonna, Eddie's the most informed striker out of the whole 22 players.
Don't disagree with that. But you did say on form, but Gabriel hasn't really been in an Arsenal top since May.
Because I think the other options for the form is so poor.
So you think not Varane? Varane's not even in the question.
Nope.
Mental. No. Lisandro Martinez isn't.
How would Varane get in this team? How many goals did he concede against Forest?
2.
How many other goals did he concede this year?
1.
And this is going to be like his good start to the season. He was shocked.
Yeah, but he scored the winner for Wolves.
Yeah, Gabriel scores though, doesn't he?
And he's 5 times Champions League winner.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? I think Gabriel's. If Man United could sign Gabriel, they would sign Gabriel.
Interesting.
Let's be honest. Varane's not been that guy since he's been signed. Not the guy everyone thought he was.
Very interesting.
Nobody picked Gabriel Jesus.
Well, I think again he's been in and out of the team. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a difficult one. My team is based on form. I mean, no one would pick Kai Havertz. He wouldn't get. He wouldn't get
after the Arsenal fans, to be honest.
He wouldn't get a combined 11 for Chelsea, Arsenal, and United. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't get anywhere near anyone's team.
Yeah, Havertz just isn't getting in there. Horrible. I actually saw a compilation video the other day on Twitter of like his involvement in Arsenal so far. Stinks. Absolutely reeks. What are you going to say?
I thought Rob was going to say something. Yeah, I think we already discussed before, but if Arsenal have a stinker at any point in the season, that Havertz transfer is going to get brought up as a big thing.
Headline is already written for that transfer.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the teams. I stand by my choice. It may seem like I'm taking the mick for the Jorginho thing. Maybe I am a little bit. I just didn't want to put Bruno because I don't like him. I think he's whiny. All those little tricks he was trying to do from free kicks the other day and then having a go at people for not knowing where he was going to pass it. It's like, yeah, well, you've clearly not planned that, Bruno, and you're just trying to shift the blame onto someone else, like you fucking did with Harry Maguire, you little Portuguese tart, you know?
I'm glad you got that off your chest. But could just go one more time up. Who was your front three again?
Saka.
Yeah.
Trossard. Martinelli.
So you're playing Martinelli. Who are you playing down the middle?
Trossard.
Leandro Trossard.
Oh,
off Brighton.
Okay. Let's be honest. I think what we'll do is we'll let the people decide. They when I say the people, I mean when we go to the pub and people tell us which team is most likely. But if we're talking about honesty, I think my nine Arsenal players, 2 United players, is the most realistic.
That's the I had. I had 9. I'm Arsenal, 2 United player, and I don't want to put this to a public vote because I'll lose, but I know that I'm right about Maguire. I know I'm right, and when Maguire lifts the cup for England, I can enjoy it more than everyone else. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Just a quick one before we move on. How do we see the game going on Sunday? I know how 2 of us think the game's going to go based off those teams.
This is the thing, I will say that I haven't necessarily gone on form. I've gone at their peak, like on paper, combined 11. That's what I did say this earlier. I said on paper, I think I've bossed it. I think I've smashed it. Right? But I agree they're gonna win on Sunday. So the three of us will probably think that Arsenal are gonna win. It's at the Emirates. I can see it being a 3-1, something like that. 3-1, or Arsenal might even stink the place out with a 2-0. But I can't see us getting. If we get a point at the Emirates, I'll snap your hand off and run away. But I can see us losing. To be honest, it's on form, so it's interesting the different angles that we've got these combined 11s. But I think I might even make like little graphics of our three teams and put them out there. I mean, and get a little vote going. So, and just so Rob can get ridiculed, I want to see it. I'm here for it.
I can come for me. I'll say my address on this podcast. I don't care.
Yeah, I can see United losing with all honesty on Sunday, especially with the current injury problems that we have. Don't have a left back at the moment. Varane went off injured. Don't know if he's going to be fit. So Maguire still won't get on the pitch because it'll be Martinez and Lindelof. So we will see. I'm just looking forward to Højlund coming in and being fit. But yeah, I don't know what you boys thinking score wise, but I can see there being like a two goal gap.
I think, and this is such a basic thing to say. I think United are either going to win or it's going to be a massive Arsenal win. I can't see Arsenal getting like a 2-0. I think I could see it being like a 4-0 Arsenal, or United do a job and get like a 2-1. I'm leaning towards Arsenal winning by 3 or 4 goals. I think that's what's going to happen.
Does Arsenal draw in 2-2 with Fulham at the weekend put any doubt on that? Because it doesn't as much for me, but that I think obviously in terms of surprising results, that was a surprising result for me.
Yeah, definitely surprising. But I think United have been really, really poor, and I know they turned it around against Forest, but Forest just lost to Burnley the other night. Do you know what I mean? I think they're not a good team, and I think Arsenal, yes. I think Fulham in some ways are a better team than United at the moment. So, yeah, I think Arsenal. The problem with United is that midfield, which Yoki has picked to 2 United players in the combined, has been getting overrun in games.
Not on form, mate. It's not on form. It's on paper. Bruno, Ødegaard, Casemiro, give me that all day at their peak.
Okay. That midfield's been getting overrun, and I think Arsenal's midfield is going to overrun them.
What do you reckon, Rob?
I'm going to go like 3-2 to Arsenal.
Oh,
I don't think any better goals, but I think that's more of potentially a reflection of some defensive errors on the team at this stage. United midfield slow, jaded. I think. Yeah, 3-2, lots of goals. I don't know, a high scoring win for Arsenal is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
fair enough. Well, like I said, let us know in the comments what you think and who had the best team. Now
between me and James.
To break things up a little before we move on to the FPL chat, I wanted to pose a little quiz. I saw some mad news, and the problem is, if you guys will read the news as much as me, football-wise, you're probably going to know the answer. But just a quick one, and hopefully, people listening can have a little guess as well. Can you name which former England international is set to join a French League 2 club this week?
I think I know it.
I know Rob loves his English players abroad. I'll tell you that the club is Sporting Amiens.
I don't know who it is, but I know I can have educated guesses.
We get one educated guess, and then Jack can go.
All right, Danny Drinkwater.
No, that's a good guess, though. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Jack, you've obviously seen it, haven't you?
I saw, well, in my defense, being truthfully honest, I saw a story about this player who, where the headline was, just to add to this mental summer transfer window, this could top them all. And there's a picture of him. And because it was a picture of him, skipped straight past it. Didn't read it. but I'm assuming it's Andy Carroll.
It's Andy Carroll. Big Andy Carroll.
He was on my Twitter. That big Andy Carroll. None of that. Seen a bit. But I just put in one and one together there. So yeah.
I know. Absolutely. He's paid out his Reading contract. Didn't fancy Reading in League One, believe it or not. And he's going to the northern city of Emirates to play in League 2.
What's he now?
34. So
to be honest, I thought he was older than that.
Yeah, I mean,
the Saudi offer didn't come through, did it?
Not yet.
I'm surprised he's made it to that age. That's true. Not like dying or anything. Like as a footballer,
I don't think he gets out of first gear though when he plays anymore. To be honest, if he ever did, I think he's
England legend Andy Carroll. One of the greatest big competition goals we've had in our lifetime.
Absolutely, and he cost 35 million from back in the day, and with inflation, that's probably like 100 million nowadays, or maybe not that much, but a lot. So yeah, big up Andy Carroll, and maybe we can have a regular little few updates every few weeks to see how many goals he's getting in there.
I'll enjoy that a lot.
League 2. Now moving on to the FPL chat. Last few weeks we've been sort of getting updates on players who are getting in. I know Jack absolutely loves it. So Jack, tell us who you're bringing in on the FPL this week.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of people disagree with this, but I've actually spent 4 points on 2 transfers. So I've used my free transfer. Didn't want to use my wild cards, but I'm hoping that the players I'm picking up will help offset the 4 that I've spent to get a second one. Brighton, interesting, very, very interesting. They've got Newcastle United and Bournemouth in the next 3. So I have actually sold 2 Brighton players, which with the scope of picking one of them back up after the tough couple of fixtures. So sold Matoma to get the money for Raheem the Dream Sterling. Obviously the hype bust now after the Luton game last week. Pochettino's got him firing again. But mainly their fixture list is El Scorchio. So they've got Forest at home, Bournemouth, Villa, which could be a tough game, but then Fulham and Burnley. I think Sterling's going to cook. So brought Sterling in for Matoma. João Pedro, I've dropped him as well. He's gone. I worry with Ansu Fati coming in, which is obviously new news. I don't know how much minutes he's going to get, to be 100%. So I didn't want to take that risk, and I've gone with another cheap striker, and that's Semenyo for Bournemouth. From what I've seen of Bournemouth, he looks dangerous. He's had loads of chances. He got that early goal against Liverpool. He is on my bench though, so I've kind of just spent the money to get Sterling in. So I've got 5 midfielders, Haaland up front, and Semenyo as my first player to come on in case no one plays. So that's what I've done. I've kind of gone all in on Raheem the Dream there, spending 4 points, hoping that he gets them back for me.
Mad. Raheem the Dream, who can't get in the England squad. Rob, what have you gone for?
Yet to make my official changes because I'm torn between some players. I'm always looking to bring in strikers because we seem to have less and less of them in the league. But I'm tempted to bring in either ideally Mateta for Palace or Edouard, depending on who I think is going to play. Mateta scored a hat-trick midweek, and Wolves don't look particularly good. I mean, we've documented that. And Palace they're certainly partial to pull out a surprise game when they'll get a few goals, So I'm thinking I might put Mateta in because I like doing things no one else is doing, Makes me feel edgy. But I think, if Palace have so far struggled for goals, and let's be honest, Edouard has had plenty of chances starting up front. Let's give it to the guy who had a hat-trick midweek,
I seen a Palace fan tweet the other day, or yesterday. There's nothing like when Mateta looks set to leave that he starts banging in a couple of goals in a couple of games. I think about a year and a half ago, he was set to go to like Saint Etienne, and then he banged like 3 games in a row. So Roy kept it, and apparently he was set to leave, and then he banged a hat-trick yesterday. So it'd be interesting to see if he stays.
That's happened a few times with Palace. It happened to Benteke when they gave him a 2-year deal just when he was about to leave, end of the season. Yeah.
Strange club, and there's another club that strikers seem to struggle at. So I've gone for, it's a bit boring to be honest with you, because I struggle. I'll be honest, I'm already fed up with fantasy. I'm bottom of everything. I can't be bothered, and it's frustrating. But what I have done is, due to the amazing quality of Mr. Darwin Núñez, I've taken out Gakpo and I've put in Mikel Antonio. Big Mikel Antonio, because I tell you what, West Ham on the weekend looked different gravy against Brighton.
And I formally retract my statement of them being relegated, please.
Absolutely, because Moisey, like, I'm not saying they're gonna have a mad season, but Ward-Prowse looks good. They've just signed Kudus and
Baller.
Yeah, Baller, and I can't believe they've got him. And then Antonio, like he had Antonio looking like he did like 4 years ago, the way he was spinning around against Brighton. They're playing Luton. My only thinking is Luton are going to be used to playing against defender strikers like that in the Championship. But I'm just thinking Antonio might like the challenge at the smaller ground. For like, if any of the West Ham players are going to relish it, it'll be an Antonio. So I just fancy him to nick a goal or an assist, or maybe both. So that was my one and only pick for this week. And I suppose we should shout out. Oh no, I was about to shout out who the top of the leaderboard is for our fantasy, but it's Jack.
To be fair, right?
Shout out in second.
Sorry, go on.
Okay. No, go on. Say your bit about beating yourself up.
I'm top in a lot of leagues at the moment, which is why I'm kind of, usually like you, James, at this stage, I kind of fall off the bandwagon or whatever. Or I had a really bad week and already used my wild card, but there's a lot of green arrows for me, so I'm all in. But who is second? I don't know actually.
James Minson is there. He's also no, he's not. About to say he's a Swansea boy, but he's not. He just went to uni there. He's only 2 points behind, so all to play for. Yeah. And I think I am miles behind. But we'll have a look next week, see how everyone gets on, and let us know in the comments who you've picked up.